We are now joined in studio by legal expert, Advocate Mahlodi Muofhe. Advocate, welcome and thank you very much for joining us at this hour. Does the Northwest government have a legitimate premier?
Yes, I think they do, subject to all legislative and administrative processes adhered to. As of now,
yes.
Presumably, I think all those things must have been taken into account. But if all those things have not been taken into account, Premier Mahumapelo remains the premier there, in the sense that the PEC of the Northwest has no legal powers to appoint the acting premier. The acting premier can only be appointed following constitutional imperatives, and the PEC does not have those constitutional imperatives.
So what you're saying in effect is that there's an illegal premier there, because so far, I mean, we haven't heard or learned of any processes, and you have written about the requirements of Section 131 of the Constitution.
Yes, indeed. If the premier acting is acting on the basis of being appointed by the ANC in the Northwest PEC, we don't have a premier, because the PEC in the Northern West, in the Northwest province, like in any other province anyway, would not have that right to appoint an acting premier.
So, does Supra Mahumapelo have the powers to do what he did?
In terms of the Act, yes, the Premier has got the right to appoint one of his MECs to act in his stead, in his absence. But remember, the Premier also has a boss, and the boss is the President. So, as of now, I'm not too sure. Probably the President and the Premier may have engaged, and because I can't see the Premier taking leave of absence without permission.
Leave of absence for 18 weeks?
Yeah, I just can't see that happening unless if he has permission from the President. He can't give himself leave. Okay.
Now, this whole crisis, the saga that is developing in the Northwest, what does it say about the national leadership of the ANC's lack of decisiveness or decisiveness thereof?
Well, I'm not too sure whether the national leadership of the ANC is indecisive. We are told by the official spokespersons that there are activities going on. And up until such time that there is an official word from the ANC itself to say this is the status quo, we can only believe that there are serious engagements taking place in the ANC leadership.
I know you're a legal expert, and I'm probably going to try and push my luck with you. But then, what does this mean for Mekifilwe go Pitsidi Sulejang in the Northwest?
In terms of?
Service delivery.
Well, service delivery has been a problem in the Northwest for some time now, even with the current premier who is supposedly on leave of absence in his presence. So it is important that I think we should focus on ensuring that services are delivered there. And I am pleased that the President appointed an inter-ministerial committee to go and look at all the issues that the communities are complaining about in the Northwest Province. And with Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma as the head of that IMC, I am sure that very soon we'll see services being taken to the Northwest province, because that's what the President demands anyway of them.
And does this situation say anything about the presidency of Cyril Ramaphosa? Because what seems to be coming up here is that, okay, Supra didn't support him leading to Nasrec, and therefore right now, you know, it's those times where there's purging, but you know, he cannot leave because it would be seen as succumbing to the forces that he was not supporting, more especially now that he has even pronounced that after his birthday, he's urging the people of the Northwest to go and support President Jacob Zuma.
Well, I would imagine that the president is basically doing everything by the book in terms of the law. The issue of purging in the ANC post the Nasrec elective conference, it is a side issue because ANC, by its own admission, says that before any election, people have the right to campaign for whoever they believe would lead. And post the election, once conference has decreed who is the legitimate leader of the ANC, they say that all forces of the African National Congress must rally behind that leadership. So it can be that there are people who are basically being purged, but obviously we know that corruption has been so endemic in our country that it is problematic. So I think we've got to take a view that whoever is corrupt, you know, even if he or she supported this faction or that faction before the Nasrec conference, has got to be called to book. And the criminal justice system must take effect, and with immediate effect, because I don't think that the country can wait for so long for the wheels of justice to turn in such a way that service delivery gets hampered.
Should Supra resign?
That's entirely, we know that in the ANC there is a saying that if you know that you have wronged or there is that perception, you do the honorable thing. It is entirely up to him and the leadership of the African National Congress. But I think that I'm sure he is aware that the destruction of property in the Northwest has a negative impact on what the president is trying to do now, or the country as a whole. We're trying to create a viable economic environment so that there should be direct and indirect investments from internally and externally as well. There is an envoy which is basically masquerading the whole world to try and get people to come and invest here. Now, for people to come and invest here, we've got to show that we are stable. We don't want to be showing people all over the country and outside the country buildings burning. That's not what we want to show.
Well, fortunately, I'm talking to somebody who has worked in the public service department. Does Supra get paid for this 18 months when he's on leave?
It depends on the arrangement he has with his boss. As of now, we don't know what is that arrangement. But I'll be surprised if he's taken this leave without permission. Because if he doesn't have permission, it's basically absconding from duty.
Advocate Mahlodi Sam Muofhe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.